In our last episode, we inspected the front brakes, tie rod ends, sway bar bushings, rear brakes, and discovered a problem with our clutch. We ordered a bunch of new parts, painted the caliper brackets, and made sure the Corolla could finally stop when we get it moving again. This is why we ordered the clutch master and slave cylinders. Nothing. We can get a better look at the fasteners if we remove the clutch reservoir. We don't have to worry about any clutch fluid because it all leaked out on the inside. Well, that's not good. The nut holding the clutch master cylinder to the chassis is completely behind the brake booster. It looks like we'll have to remove that first. That's the back side of the brake booster. It's held in with 4 nuts, which look like they're blocked by the steering column. And there's the clutch master cylinder. See that drip? That's where our clutch fluid went. If we're going to spend some quality time under the dash, let's do it the easy way. Take out the seat. The cordless electric ratchet makes quick work of the 4 bolts to hold the thing in. Set this aside while we get on with the real work. To get better access to the nuts that hold the brake booster and the clutch master cylinder in, we'll need to take the plastic bits off the dash. Not that tough, a few screws and wires. With the dash pieces out, it looks like we can drop the steering column and get better access to the brake booster nuts. We've got good access to the clutch master cylinder interior nuts, so we'll get that one off first.
Okay.
Now the brake booster nuts. These 2 are easy. This nut is the reason we had to drop the steering column. There was just no other way to get access to it. With the brake booster free, let's see how much room we have to take the other clutch master cylinder nut off. It's tight, but at least we can get to it now. The wrench just fits and we can get about a 1/16 of a turn on the nut. And after a few minutes of wrenching, the nut is off. Let's disconnect the clutch master cylinder from the clutch pedal.
We've got a cotter pin right here on the side. We're just going to go ahead and pull that.
We can finally take the clutch master cylinder out.
Before we get some. And there you have it. 1 master cylinder.
Woohoo! Out with the old, in with the new. Reinstall the nut 1/16 of a turn at a time. Reconnect everything on the inside. Next is the master cylinder interior nut. Reinstall the brake booster nuts. Now we can put the steering column back where it belongs.
That seems like it's pretty easy to do. The electric ratchet.
And the electric ratchet makes it easy.
And
Let's put the dash back together. I'm being really careful because the pieces are 35 years old and probably fragile. I'm only tightening the fasteners hand tight because the dash will be coming off again when we do the interior work. To finish up the mechanical part of the clutch, we need to replace the slave cylinder. Crack the bleed nipple in the hydraulic line before you take the slave cylinder off. Now remove the cylinder bolts and spin it off the line. Put the new slave cylinder on in the reverse order. And don't put the hydraulic line and the bleed nipple into the wrong bosses because later on you'll have to go back and undo it and redo it again. I'm making sure the last bolt isn't cross-threaded before I unleash the power of the electric ratchet. The last thing we need to do for the clutch is bleed the whole system. Top up the reservoir before we get started. I'm using high quality brake fluid. Bet Matt would love this in his car. I wonder if it comes in green. Because this is a two-man job, I had to call in a real mechanic to give me a hand. Okay, push it in. Tell me when you got it. Notice the correct position of the hydraulic line and the bleed nipple. Let it out. We don't want the reservoir to run dry, so I top it up just to be sure. In and out, open and close, open and close. I'm losing the will to live. Okay, the clutch is working beautifully again. Chalk up another win for Team Wrench Mine. And one final job I want to get done. Not so much because it fixes any problem, but because we saw what a dramatic effect it had on Project 𝗡𝗶𝘀𝗶𝘁, the wheels. Let's blast the dirt, grime, and oil off the wheels with a pressure washer. I'm not going to powder coat the wheels because I'm already looking for a good deal on some replacements, so we'll just hit them with a rattle can. Taping up the sidewall of the tire keeps the paint off the rubber. Semi-gloss black is such a classic when you want to change the color of your wheels. A couple of light coats will really change the look of the whole car. And I got that seasoned old mechanic to give me a hand with adding some pinstripes to the wheels. I held the tape in one position while he spun the wheel. The red tape really pops on the black. With everything back together, let's see if the Corolla can actually move under its own power.